This could be a defining week for U.S. President Barack Obama. He's presently in the U.S. Gulf region reviewing the efforts to control the massive oil leak. Tonight, he will speak to the American public on the disaster. This will be the first time he's spoken on the issue from the Oval Office. The goal, to show he's in command of the situation. To discuss the political importance, we're joined by Solon Simmons, an assistant professor at George Washington University. Solon, thanks so much for joining us.
Great to be here.
So the latest poll that I saw, 69% of Americans said they didn't think that the president was handling this situation very well. What does he need to say tonight?
Well, I think that he needs to assure the American people that he is in command and in control of the situation. One of the problems I think that the president has been having is that he's been doing a lot behind the scenes, but has not been assuring the people, not been working on the stage as much as he has behind the scenes. And so now he's coming straight out front and trying to tell people that he is in control and things are going well. I mean, the main problem here really is that the American government is simply not in a position to do much about this spill. The BP is in the position to do that, and the expertise is with them. And I think people are simply shocked to realize that, in fact, there is, with a disaster of this scale, that there is no higher authority. And they're oddly enough ready for a government takeover now, whereas they've been worried about that in other sectors of the economy. So there's a tension in the American public opinion about these kind of things, and Obama is straddling it. I think he's getting a little frustrated, but he has to lean into it to reassure people.
What about the optics of this speech being done in the Oval Office, the same place where George W. Bush addressed Americans on September 11, 2001? Obama has compared this in some way to 9/11.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've been searching for the right comparison. Is it the hostage crisis? Is it Katrina? The fact is, it's simply its own kind of disaster. It's the worst environmental disaster in American history. And you have to wonder why it is that Obama, who ran against the party of Drill Baby Drill, is in trouble with this. And in part, I think it's simply because he's the person who's in power. But I think the other problem with it is that the crime is usually not the problem in these scandals or these crises. It's more the cover-up. And the cover-up, and Obama became associated with the cover-up, I'd say on May 14th, back when NPR came out with an independent analysis of how much oil was being spilled, which is pretty close to what we're now saying is being spilled. And Obama didn't side with those scientists, whereas BP was trying to say it's not that much that's being spilled, it's a big ocean and what have you. And so Obama's on the wrong side of this issue, oddly enough, because he really should be on the right side of the issue from the perspective of the American people. So the optics are to try to get back on the right, in that right picture. And if he can't do it now, he probably won't be able to do it for a very long time.
Right. He's been playing hardball with BP, in particular, Tony Hayward, the CEO, saying there's no way that Mr. Hayward would ever work for him. But how does he walk that fine line between, making BP pay for all of this and making sure they don't go under?
Well, right. I mean, one of the things about Obama is he's no drama Obama. He's a very responsible person. He realizes that oil companies are a big part of the future for 7 billion people in the world who need energy, right? I mean, this is one of the things he's been doing, and he didn't want to have a public scandal around a company that is, in fact, essential to the United States in the Gulf. And so I think what he can try to do is he has to emote, show anger, and yet, is that going to do anything? What I think he can do in terms of policy is try to put us on a trajectory to do something about energy, and we probably will have some kind of a hint of his energy policy that he's going to be pushing within the year. So that's the substantive side. He's got to start showing people that he's not worried about himself. He's worried about the Gulf residents, and he's worried about the energy needs of the United States. So those are the big emphases he's going to have to place.
And we'll watch tonight. Good to talk to you, Solon. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, thank you so much.